What's good, man? It's OG Drip, man, the channel where we talk about the spiritual truth and how to utilize energy on a day-to-day basis, man. And OG Drip about to go deep today, man. So check this out, man. Because we got to talk about it, because a lot of things in this world and a lot of things that go through your mind don't necessarily belong to you, right? So a lot of people don't understand that, to the fact of, even if you have certain ways that your mind is dedicated to, or a certain way that is mentally structured, a lot of times it attracts certain energies. And these energies could be attracted to seeing you as, hey, this is a great, strong leader. And also these things could be looking at you as, hey, I can't stand that person, thinking they know it all, or thinking this person is above anybody. So when it comes down to knowledge, come to the duties, responsibilities, a lot of this world, that's the reason why they like to play into it. Like to play into education, politics, and things like that. This is the reason why it's being controlled. Because now I don't have to necessarily use your spirit, right, for you to get lost. I could use your mind. So the mental things, I can manipulate the situation. I can mutate. You know what I'm saying? I can do all this type of stuff. Not transcend, not transmute. Nah, we ain't talking about nothing with the trans instead. We talking about something that's gender bias or race bias, color bias, however you want to look at it, type of world that we living in, right? Where even to the fact of, even if you don't want to admit it yourself, it's somewhere across the world where it's going down heavy. And they're not trying to deal with it in certain ways, right? Well, we all can see that. But at the end of the day, we living in this world where we supposed to be together, understanding unity, understanding each other's gifts. So certain ones is born with certain zodiacs, but we're not certain charkers. And it's not looked at as, hey, this is my gift and let me learn how to use it. Nah, it's looked at as, this is what you is and this is how it get used. So go along with the program, right? To the fact that they're saying like, hey, you're not you're the mind. You're not you. You get what I'm saying? You ain't you. You is the mind. You and the mind the same thing. To the fact that people would think that the consciousness and being something that on their mind, that it's have something to do with God. And some of these things not even got nothing to do with God, because you already have an unholy temple or already have biasness in your own charkers, where you don't understand how not to put too much in or how not to go too deep into something. You get what I'm saying? Well, not be too shallow or not to go too deep into something. So this is when people get breaking down to understanding their low tides and high tides between themselves, and understanding the uprise, uplift, and then understanding how it be a downlift, and bringing sabotage energy and bringing vampire energy and stuff like that. Because a lot of times a person lose themselves within their mind, so they drown in their emotion, to the fact that they might not give a fuck, to the fact that you done been around an individual that you just got your money or whatever, they probably ain't got theirs yet, and this individual mad as fuck that they ain't got theirs, but they can't even be happy about you got yours. You might even finna hand them some money. It's shit like that in the world, where you could be that person and they'll be hating on you. It don't matter if you about to hand them something, just by you being in the position that someone else wanted to be in. So at the end of the day, it'd be like reverse shadow work, right? Where it be something where they're not committed to, or they have accepted in their mind. So the things they surround themselves around is what this world asks of them. So they oh, what job do you have? How much your income is? How you're structured and looked at on this site. So they try to run back to exterior sources, because they don't have an themselves. They can't find themselves to be like, hey, this is what I already self. And hey, even if it's me, I still got to think. I is only the you part of it. What about the rest of the world? I'm not in this world by myself. So I have to still remember how I'm reflecting on the rest of the world, if I don't want somebody to look at me in the wrong way, if that's not the way I'm intended out to put. So it don't matter if I got good intentions, if I got bad fucking purposes behind it, it's going to look real crazy when it play out. It's going to look like somebody had good intentions for a certain reason. So it make like a certain narrative there, right? Where it's like being so mentally wise, you don't trick yourself. Or what we say now, you don't goddamn manipulated yourself. So it ain't transcendency. It's tricking yourself out of stuff. It's like a person, instead of them going and facing his fear, now they done found a new way to go around it, jump around it. But at the end of the day, they're still scared of this. This is what our real life base out to. This is what your charkers base out to. This is why your planets is aligned in certain signs and aligned in certain houses. When it's aligned in those certain signs, it's like, yo, this is the energy you need to act out in. And when it got to the certain house, this is where you need to act it out in. Okay, if your shit in the 7th house, you need to learn how to work these relationships and this type of shit over here. You don't need to be able to tell somebody about their motherfucking surroundings and shit. Even though you got a little bit of relatability to it, that don't mean you're going to be the best at it and stuff like that. Or you're not going to be the start of it, depending on where you lived at, depending on how you was born and raised. If you was born and you had a lot of negativity, a lot of negative people around you, you're not going to be at the up part of your charker. You're going to be down in the bottom and down in the emotion, where you're not able to see light, where you're not even able to handle light, when somebody show you light, it gives you jealous energy, and wherefore you want to take from them. So it's like vampire energy. That's what I'm saying. So it's like you can't come out in the light, but as soon as it turns dark, you ready to grab in. Soon as somebody get vulnerable, instead of you helping them up, you ready to say, use it for ammo later on in life. You ready to say, oh, remember you were sad about this? That's because you always like, y'all, man, come on, man. Vamps be very well. So at the end of the day, you got to watch and understand that even in the movies, y'all be seeing how them humans be humans. And then out of nowhere, that same human you thought was a human the whole time, nighttime done shift. And now you see this person in their emotions. And now you see them in their emotions, aka the dark side of whatever the zodiac whatever the planet they're producing its energy from. So then you see the zodiac come in. So you see how they start using it as a mind thing. Then you see how the earth play out, or the physical, how they start using it against you, or where they use it at in your area. They'll attack you from way over here and throw it way the fuck over there. Like my nigga, I was talking about me as a person. I wasn't saying I'm always helping other people. Shit. Of course, if I'm always helping other people, I ain't gonna have a lot for my goddamn self. Of course, if I'm always valuing shit, or people that don't value me the same. Of course, like shit like that, where a motherfucker won't be able to help you transmute it, like help you look at it in a higher way of, hey, don't break yourself. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, don't let nothing kill or break you and change you or shape you. Let it stay you, and you just find a way to deal with it, right? Of saying like you strong anyway, from God even putting this on you, you know you was able to handle it. Because in certain situations, we got to understand when we get hit across the head and when we got to say something, when it's worth fighting. So this is a lot of times where a lot of people that's being so humble might miss their opportunities. You get what I'm saying? And keep getting played. And this even fall in relationships, like even with women, where they might be sitting there and the man steady cheating every week, or the girl steady cheating every week. And they showing you like, hey, this is where I'm going to end up at. This is what it is. And the person will sit there and keep dealing with it and then end up losing themselves, turn into a dog female or a dog ass nigga. And now they like, oh, all females like this. Oh, all niggas like this. And they take it out on the world. So due to something they hurt on. So the shadow shit inside of them, like I said, it's like self-reflective. It's like, okay, due to I was hurt, now I'm going to take it out on everybody else. So that's why you got a lot of these people getting on the internet too, and they think they know something because they were just so hurt, and a lot of other people was hurt, and they all just relating to each other. So they coming with this certain energy. It's like, oh, y'all niggas not coming spiritual. You niggas just said y'all coming with energy, right? So they're talking about entering some type of shit. We know that the spiritual is out. Then we know it out. Oh, niggas out of here. They ain't even talking about this realm reality. You got no connection to it until you get birthed into it. So anytime we start talking about that, and it takes the spirit realm to make the fucking mental realm, the mental realm to make the physical, but a lot of people don't see that. So a lot of people think that you was born as a baby and then you just grew up somehow. Nobody died from the humidity. Nobody died from drowning in the water. And none of that. They're just always babies. Somehow survived in, turned to giants, all type of dumbass shit where it's all just mental games of however, whatever comfortable and suitable to your mind. So now you have religions, you got all this other shit to be like, hey, this is what you're responsible for. You need to put your time and your effort and blood, sweat, and tears into this shit. Damn, so motherfuckers are trying to show you different paths and trying to show you a different light or a different way to go about something. We the ones get hit, or them the ones that get hit all the time, right? And I'm saying we because I'm the type of person that's what I'm doing right now in this video. Showing people other ways of looking at things, not getting hurt about the internet or whatever somebody going through in life, and then trying to take it out on everybody. No, we can transcend from any of this shit. And that's the reason why it happened, because before it even got here, the bullshit was already going on. Before it even got to the mental realm, it could have died there. It could have died there. You feel what I'm saying? You could die in both realms. It could have died there. It could have died in the realm of death. The realm of life. You get what I'm saying? So it would have been like an abortion to the mind. You get what I'm saying? People don't understand shit like that. But they physically abortion, that's all they understand. So when I break down stuff like this, it be so hard to get people to understand. If I'm saying Jesus, I'm not talking about a man. I'm talking about a light. I'm talking about a fusion and a friction of what we just call in the sun to be more relatable right now. If it was 4,000 years ago, I would have been saying Zeus, whatever times it was when they was using it. So that is all just a different way of saying something. So if you're not English, if you're not from the U.S., I'm saying the same shit, whatever you call your son. Whatever you call it, might not be Jesus. But it's still talking about that same energy. And a lot of people don't see that. So now when they get up here and they say the 12 tribes getting ready to rise and all this, dumb motherfuckers going to be thinking that it's actual tribes rising out here and not actual people that supposed to have their mental in a certain way. So now they rising for the wrong fucking shit. They're going in the name of the Lord and letting God drive the wheel, and this God is not their God. This God is against them and manipulating. It's a manipulative. It's the devil, actually. You get what I'm saying? When they find out behind closed curtains, I find out it was actually somebody with their hand inside a puppet this whole time, talking through others. So these people, and that's why I say do not idolize people, bro, in the Bible. Because we start looking at these people and figure out, oh, because they're in this position in life, that means they had to know something. They had to know, they had to get there because of this. No, it is people that they had to work their ass off to get to certain positions because the opportunities were small. And you can kind of see them. They be the shadow band people, the people that don't even really want the light. Because they know when it comes to the attention, here come all the fucking hate. No matter how a person look at it, here go the vampires coming with it. Because here go the sun. Here go everything that exists in the mental realm. The sun, Jesus, Lucifer, the devil, however you want to look at it. All of these mental games and a way a person getting abused by their charkas just because they feel like the ability to feel, the ability to think, because they have free will, they feel like this is what they could do. And now understand you're responsible for letting that Scorpio energy make you burn out somebody's house. You're responsible for sitting there and being so independent that you done made other motherfuckers don't want to deal with you. You're responsible for this shit, man. Every goddamn house. You're responsible for that motherfucker. And wherever you got a sign or a planet was, that's what you was paying attention in life in that aspect towards that motherfucking area. You get what I'm saying? So if you got a Mercury, all your ass was talking about was whatever it falls, whatever house it's talking about. That's what area of life you was putting this stuff into. So you was always being irresponsible when it came to God. God was like, what the fuck is you doing with your energy? You getting bitched by your energy. Sometimes you trip and your energy like bribe your ass and be like, hey, I'll let you use me for the day. You see how that worked? Before you manifested something, didn't you? Script. Now whatever you manifested, I'm finna swip and flop that bitch. You know what I'm saying? And now you got to deal with all this type of energy. And a lot of people don't understand, man. When you even trying to just bring out the light, that shit be hurting so bad, they don't even want to see the video. They be like, oh, fuck. They'll look at the title, anything. So as soon as they hear something about their gender, about their race, already flaring up shit. And they don't realize that shit that's flaring up is waters. Them bitches getting unsteady. You don't know how to keep your water steady to know how to walk on them bitches. So they always being like waves. And you out there trying to surfboard and getting knocked off, getting hit by tsunamis and shit because your goddamn feelings. And because you thinking away, now you got air coming to it, boosting the hell out that shit. And you might be pushing the air the wrong way. We weren't even trying to make waves towards the beach. Nigga trying to get you out of that area because your emotions done drawn you dry. You get what I'm saying? And you dry towards the wrong shit. So we have people like that, and they'll be like sitting there just draining you for what they could get out of you, and now y'all both ain't got shit. You ain't even got yourself no more, and that person never was themselves and got lost in the mental realm, and now guess what? Y'all both fucking lost. So at the end of the day, we got to watch what the fuck we're connected to, such as even being responsible for each other and understanding what duties we got to actually do. We're supposed to be actually learning the shit what we're placed with. Our karmas, like, okay, why do you have these signs? Okay, let's pay attention to this. That don't mean don't pay attention to the other areas. But maybe these areas we need to do shadow work on first. You see what I'm saying? Instead of just looking at like, oh, this is what I'm good at. Like, no, bro, because depending on where you was born, you might not even know how to activate that power. You might be instead of you knowing what to talk about, you might be the worst person to talk at the wrong times. Talk too much about the wrong shit. So at the end of the day, it don't matter whatever it is. You might be a person that feel too much about the wrong shit. You might be a person that's too passionate about the wrong shit. You might be a person that's practical about the wrong shit or the practical around the wrong motherfuckers. You ever went through that before? Trying to be yourself, and every time you come around this motherfucker, it's like they knock your character off, or it's like they, you know what I'm saying? It's like esoteric trolls. It's like they just come around and just to like piss you off. So it's shit like that where you go through stuff to realize, hey, if you one of these motherfuckers, you need to get your shit together. You have got drained so much. Not only did you lose yourself, but now you're starting to take from others, whether it's their characteristics, whether it's their charismatic gifts, whether it's their personality, like whatever it is, you're hating on it and you're taking away from it, you're draining it. You're being a vampire that can't come out in the light. So you're not being a daywalker to be able to understand, like, okay, maybe I do need to drain this motherfucker because they just trying me. You know what I'm saying? Knowing when to use or humblest or whatever. So you're being a vampire that can't live in the light. So anytime the truth hit, anytime the truth hit, or that person or whoever you're hating on start bringing up a situation or start bringing light to a situation, your ass gonna get away from that source of information because you can't handle the truth. You don't want to suck that in. So whatever is the truth is not obligated to what you want to accept. You're going to let that darkness kick in, where it's like a self-reflection, where you're going to throw the moon right there and be like, fuck that. This how I feel. Fuck what's being shown. Fuck what's being drawn. I don't see none of that but the way I feel. And now you looking at it like, damn. Now you using moons and the fucking 7th house type of shit on your goddamn self. So now you don't even need actual information. You just going on whatever fucking came to your mind. And this is the thing that we all have the ability to do. Fuck your zodiacs. Fuck your alignments when it come down to this type of stuff. Because people sit there, well, I ain't got them zodiacs. But yes, but you can still use that type of energy depending on your life. That's why we all got 12 houses, bro. I don't care if you ain't got no foot, bro. You still got 12 houses. You got to understand that shit. So when it's talking about that, the 12 houses is actually talking about your minds, bro. Where a motherfucker putting their mind at, bro. So at the end of the day, you got minds of how to work them and then where to put them at. But then at the end of the day, you got a spirit of what minds they want to use. But your spirit can't use certain minds in this world because when you came in here, you already couldn't be yourself. So that was already out the gate. That, yo, I can't just float through this motherfucker. I have to have a spaceship. And obviously, I already created one due to me having a feeling and emotion. But now, due to my feelings and emotions, I got to learn how to adjust them throughout the world I'm living in. AKA, I got to understand my responsibilities. And yes, I might have a few that's in this world. Hey, if I go around shooting, yes, I'm liable to hurt people that ain't intended to get hurt. Yes, that's one of the few physical things that you have a duty to. But that has nothing to do with you when it comes to being spiritual, bro. So that's the difference, what I want to separate throughout this video. And it kind of frustrates people, right? Because when you're on a spiritual path, it don't matter what a person necessarily, how they putting together the words, how long they've been doing this, because you can't take that from a person. If somebody been sitting there punching bricks, their nerves probably dead. So it's kind of hard to talk to that person. You get what I'm saying? So a person that been banging their head against fucking dumbass, argumental ass knowledge for years, it's not going to be too easy to have agreements with that person. Not even if that person might feel like you wrong. You don't understand. You could be dead ass right, but the way that person set their mind, bro, is drunk. It's like going like this. It don't matter. Every time you throw out evidence, that bitch avoiding that shit, crashing. You're like, hey, it's an asteroid to the left. Let me bam. It's an asteroid to the right. Bam. It's like going all the wrong ways. Then when it get to the end, be looking at you like, now why my spaceship beat up? Or the person be looking at you like, so you the one did this to me mentally. Like, motherfucker, I was the one trying to help you from that shit. Like, damn. Telling y'all, man, my favorite line, I was just trying to help your scary ass. AKA, you scared of these goddamn fears of these charkas. So instead of you understanding how to will the beast, your ass getting willed by the beast. So you thinking it's in your will to do this dumbass shit because it's in your beastly natures, your lower natures. This is shit you're supposed to be getting away from, not going into further. It's even said, hey, even though you got to get away from him, we can understand God. Like, hey, even though you got to get away from that shit, in this world you got to use it a little bit to get where you got to go. Not use it to get where the fuck you want only, and then just like, yeah, let me just keep using it because it goddamn, I ain't gonna lie, boy, they told me I could rent this car, but I'm gonna just keep this shit for an extra 4 months, knowing you ain't pay the people. Fuck no. So knowing when you got esoteric currents, it's gonna give you different spaceships. It's gonna be upgrading, just like what everybody do with their phones, their Apples, and their PlayStation, and all that. What you think in the spirit realm and they upgrading? It's gonna be upgrading faster and more different ways. So when it comes down to different things being brought to this world, even no matter who brought it out, it came from the spirit realm first. So as a spiritual person, we'll understand why this shit was even brought in the world in the first place. So a nigga like me or somebody like me could break down spiritual screenshots, understanding how a phone, you know how you screenshot a moment in your mind, how a phone even came up with that concept of camera, how you looking through the lens of your body right now, bro. It was already done before you even became a human. A lot of people don't understand that. So they take these things, and as us being the creators, the Masons like to put their ways behind it. So that's what I was saying. Anytime you're following up behind this person, you lack creativity. You can't be independent as a spirit. You can't be one with God to understand being a creator, but you're not God at the same time. But you create shit out of God's name. You get what I'm saying? Shit like that. So instead of us doing it for a fucked up purpose, like they create shit, blockages and shit, just to have more control over a person. We could be creating shit for a person to, even if they don't have control for themselves, that they could get, operate, and help with. And without having to have a certain amount of money or a certain amount of stability or a certain amount of associates, where they control all of this shit. They control who you talk to a degree. That's why when you in the hood, you surround around a lot of motherfuckers that might be thinking just like you if it's all on a low vibration. So that don't mean because now you done got high vibrational, now when you go back to the hood, you the nigga that's wrong. No. Like, that shit play out backwards. Like, no, bro. That ain't how it works, bro. Like, that's why we be saying it's an inverted world. That shit, like, it's like the more you find yourself, the more motherfucker hate who you is. Because they can't find themselves. They too lost in the world. They'll say they want to be this. They'll say they're not interested in this. They'll say that ain't what they want to do and do all those things. So they be 1 foot in, 1 foot out with every fucking thing. And not the correct way. So then when times get hard for them, now they trying to hurry up and move out of the way. But it's already too late. Because where they went that direction in the beginning already caused that. So a lot of times they start shit and then try to run away from what they already started. And that's how you know these be vampires and shit, man. Where they trying to grab you, catch you when you were vulnerable, and try to act like they ain't just catch you when you was vulnerable. Motherfucker, you just caught me, goddamn, when me and we was making out in the goddamn car. You know what I'm saying? That's how they be doing in the vampire movies. You gonna catch me while we making out in the car. I'm trying to get some coochie or whatever. You gonna come over here and try to bite my goddamn neck and turn me now. Because you know I ain't paying no attention to nothing that's going on outside of what's right here around me. So people get blind, bro. I'm telling you, they get blind by the light. I'm telling you, they can't see in that shit. So then you will have goddamn blade-ass vampires too. Where they'll see what's good about you and stuff and then use it. But then talk shit. Use your ass for what you good for, then talk shit. So they ain't scared of the light. They see what you can do. And that's exactly why they're going to use it to benefit their own good and not give a fuck about how you feel. AKA, they're going to use your sun to benefit their moon. And then they're going to take their moon and not give a fuck about your sun. You see what I'm saying? They ain't going to give a fuck about the actions you got to do or none of that. As long as you make them feel good and long as your actions consist of them. So fuck your moon, fuck your sun. It's all about theirs. They're making a whole eclipse on your ass. You feel me? So it's shit like that where now they're able to understand, okay, we can walk in the daytime around this person. It don't matter what they say true. I know how to ignore it and make it fit in the areas I want it to. So they be real vampires. Like, there's no other way to explain that shit. It's like, oh, so you still gonna try to take away from this person? Oh, yeah, because I need it from them and they have it. And I know they have it. That's that type of vampire. Then you got the one that they don't have it, but I'm just gonna keep kicking this person while they're down. That's that damn vampire that's scared of the light. So they don't want to face the truth. These ones will face the truth and use the shit out of you. So you got Blades running around this bitch. Y'all remember on the movie Blade, when he was killing vampires, they got to a point that some of them learned how to walk in the day. No matter what they found out, they found a manipulative way to do it. They couldn't truly do it, so they had to add something to themselves or whatever. Whatever vampire it is, it'll always be like that, man. Where it's just one vampire could do more than the others. And you be like, damn, who is that vampire? But in a way of looking at it, they're all vampires. They're all your vampires or either humans. And then you see a human in the movie. If they're a human, they'll be a gangsta-ass human. Like, that man ain't get turned the whole time. He done went out. He went out a human, too. You know what I'm saying? So that lets you know whoever he was, he probably wasn't a human. Probably was looked at as an angel. I always try to give even the vampires and the humans a chance to get along and shit like that. So, like, in the movies, it kind of throw you off if you pay attention to the physical aspect too much. But if you think about the shit that we actually deal with on a day-to-day basis, take your experiences, look inside of that shit, then when you bring it out to the world, you'll be able to see that it ain't just a nigga like me up here saying, oh, the world is toxic. No, you'll be able to see that the world is actually toxic. So a motherfucker like me just telling you that's what it is. And instead of being the one to be looked upon and looked down on, like, hey, we should listen to you because this is the way you looking at it. Nah, bro, this is what the world is, but I can see the world in a better way. So I can accept the world for what it is, but I know how to get it going. I know how to change the world, bro. And that's why I'm changing in my own ways. I ain't got nobody in my family or nobody that was around me, right, that was like start a YouTube channel at this time and then know how to operate it, right? Anybody can say any goddamn thing. Well, you do what they doing. Easy. But don't nobody have the source of information, how many hours you got to do or what you got to do to get there. So I had to experience this shit myself already, just for myself, personal. That's a step different than anybody else in my family. Nobody has a check cut from Google. So you get what I'm saying? No matter how a person may look at it, you may be looking at, oh, that's from your personal experience. Duh, that's the point. As you supposed to have your personal shit too. Where God was like, hey, you can do something different than not even the same way everybody else doing it. And still end up getting basically what they're getting. They ain't really got more than you. I got multiple cars, all that type of shit. You're like a person that would have a big ass business or whatever. You feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, man, it be this world be trying to make you feel like you obligated to do shit for it. And a lot of times we lose ourselves due to these things. We like, oh shit, what about my stability? Oh shit, what about my love life? Oh shit, what I'm gonna go to war for? Oh shit, how people looking at me? Oh shit, why I feel this way? Oh shit, what about my dream? Oh shit, what about my goals? Oh shit, what about my desires? Oh shit, and you go further and further. And all I'm doing is taking the houses, separating them, taking the zodiacs, separating them, taking the planets, separating them. So that's the same thing they do. Conquer and divide. Then they use the shit on you. So then in unity, you'll never understand. So then you'll always have somebody having zodiac beef. They be like, oh, this nigga Virgo, he think he all that. That's the reason why. And then, oh, that nigga Aries, he full of himself. That's why he did. Oh, that nigga Taurus, he think he the cleanest nigga in the world. Hey, come on, bro. It's sad out here, man. It's sad. So now it's vampires out this bitch because people don't know what to be.